Hey everybody, welcome to the channel, glad to have you here. Welcome to Warhammer 2, Land of the Four Dragon Princes, because you always fight four Dragon Princes. Um, anyways, that's me just being salty. So here, their main line of I've got four Saurus Warriors. I figured these Saurus Warriors are going to be enough, especially with their shields, to deal with any kind of infantry that the High Elves can throw at you. Generally pretty low armor, but their elite infantry does have pretty high armor. But I figure I'll be able to get around and kind of swarm them to defeat them rather than just winning head on. I do have one Saurus Spear out to each flanks. Aware of kind of the Dragon Prince meta, I do have 2 units of Skink cohorts with javelins. Then I've got 4 units of just Skink cohorts out over here. And the Skink javelins are so good because these guys are literally the Skink cohort. They have the same stats as the Skink cohort, but they do just have javelins, so they're really, really good. And I think these guys are a boon to the Lizardmen roster. Very cheap, very great unit. Over here I do have a Skink Priest of Beasts. I figured some Flock of Doom would help take out that elite Elven infantry as well. I've also got some armor buffs and stuff for my my Saurus Warriors in the form of this Wissen's Wild Shape. It'll help boost their damage and armor, make them a little bit harder to kill. I do have a Krotgar Bastillodon with a Revivification Crystal to heal Krotgar. And then I also do have one unit of Cold One Spear Riders. I'm expecting to have to deal with Dragon Princes, and these guys are going to do pretty well. And then I hadn't tried these guys. I forget where I put them. Oh yeah, over here. I do have one unit of just kind of feral cold ones, and I don't think these guys are worth it, but I figured I would try them. So you can see my enemy here has 4 archers up in front, 2 Lothran Seaguard, 2 regular archers. He's got 2 White Lines of Thrace and a Phoenix Guard, and then he's got 4 Dragon Princes, and he does have Teclis. So pretty similar army to what I saw last time with the Skaven. Over here, then you can see I saw that these guys were stacked on each other pretty hard, so I cast that extended Flock of Doom. He's going to pull the Phoenix Guard out, but he's going to run the Flock of Doom straight into his archers, which I'm okay with. So getting some early damage down just never hurts on that elite infantry. Then you can see my shields, luckily, are going to protect me from most of it, and then I'm going to just send my Skink cohort into this forest, knowing that he probably has something in there. Keeping my lords and large targets back, and then I'm bringing in my feral cold ones. I figured they'd be pretty good against those White Lions of Thrace, so I brought them in, but they will go crazy. And then over here you can see these White Lions of Thrace are pulling in, and then I'm doing my classic bait and switch. I'm pulling my javelins around so they're ready to throw in the back, and then I'm going to charge again with my Skink cohort. And then I'm sacrificing these guys over here, and they're just going to get slaughtered. Sending my spears over. You can see he very smartly is shooting these feral cold ones, and they're just going to go absolutely crazy. And then here you can see I'm making sure not to get blobbed up. I'm pulling through with my Saurus Warriors to go chase these guys, and I'm using Krotgar to help deal with the armored infantry. Not the Phoenix Guard, which would kill him, but these guys. And then you can see my Skink cohort just getting ready, and I'm going to pull up like a defensive turtle out on this side, and then pull up my Bastillodon and just try and crash through this middle. But you can see these White Lines of Thrace are not doing too well, especially when they're getting shot in the back. So you can see this is a fight I would not usually win, but I'm getting great value because of the Skink cohort with javelins. They're already out of ammo, but whatever, and then it's just another Skink cohort to hold down these Dragon Princes. So over here I've routed these guys. I'm crashing through the middle. I shouldn't have used Swiftness if it's still there. But you can see here I'm pulling out my javelins, trying to protect my back lines from rear charges. You can see my Saurus Warriors just having to run and chase down these guys. You can see there, nice Hand of the Gods, or whatever it is, on Teclis, doing a big chunk of damage. And then you can see this Fiery Bird is going to purge some of my Saurus Warriors, make them go insane. Krotgar having to go chase those guys. And over here you can see dropping Flocks of Doom. I brought my Spear Riders in, I brought some more Saurus Warriors, and I have my Saurus Warrior Spear. So over here, this is going pretty well. These White Lines did come back, but I'm dealing some nice damage to these Dragon Princes, and these ones just are not having a good time. trying to get my javelins ready to throw, but you can see they are running out of ammo, so soon they'll just be meat shields. Flock of, or net of Ammontok coming down. I'm bringing Krokar over with his anti-large to help deal with these guys, and then my Skink Priest over here just to help the leadership stay high. You can see how long these Skink Javelins are holding against like some pretty high tier infantry. Because they have that 120 model unit or units in their whatever, they'll do decently well. And then over here you can see my Spear Riders cleaning up shop. You can see Krokar taking a decent amount of damage, but again, that's kind of the problem with the High Elf range stuff, is they don't have armor piercing, like the Dark Shards. So they're going to struggle to kill something like Krokar with 130 armor right now, especially with that Wissen's Wild Shape coming down, buffing all these guys. These Saurus Warriors, oh, it looks like it just wore off. You can see over here my Skink cohort with Javelins. Now we're just going to swarm these guys. Every time they pull out, they're going to take some extra damage. And you can see some Flock of Doom coming down. You can see I've cleaned up on this side, eventually getting through these White Lions. And you can see just the Bastiladon and Krokar just laying down the law. The Phoenix Guard are shattered. Just because I have so much infantry here, and I'm just kind of letting these guys shoot. I don't really have a choice. I got to deal with these Dragon Princes. What am I going to cast over here? Oh, Regrowth on his archers. I guess he's reaching at this point. You can see these Dragon Princes would have been a much better target. But yeah, you can see now poor Teclis is by himself. He's just going to get eaten by Krokar. You can see I'm sending some spears over here. And you can see, again, these Dragon Princes just being held down, and then Flock of Doom being cast. And you can see Wissen's Wild Form popping these guys to whopping 60 armor, and the Dragon Princes do have mostly non-armor piercing damage. So that definitely will help them survive a little bit longer. And then you can see my Cold Ones over here are going to come clean up on these archers. They just move so slow. Oh, man. Something that the Lizardmen, it's definitely a weakness, is their speed. Especially those armor-piercing cav, just so slow. But you can see here those Skin Cohort just definitely doing their job. Saurus Warriors just cutting through the middle. You can see none of these guys really paid for themselves. And then Krokar and Bastiladon really just putting in that stopping power. Cold One Spear Riders helping to punish them on this side, and then just swarming the other guys. Swarming the other Dragon Princes with Skinks and Saurus Warriors and Krokar and stuff. You can take these guys down. It definitely is possible. I don't think the Dragon Princes are really that great. But people seem to like to use them. You can see my Feral Cold Ones just trash. Just utter trash. But you can see my Saurus Warriors doing very well. Yeah, anyways, great game, and thanks so much for watching. That's that.